Imagine this. It is 2:17 a.m. Your room is dark, your phone lights up. Someone texts you, "Are you okay?" You stare at the screen. Your chest feels heavy, your mind is loud, your heart is tired, and your fingers type the most dangerous sentence in the world. "I'm fine." But you are not fine. You are just too tired to explain why you are not. And the scary part is, most of us do this every day. We say I'm fine at work, we say it to friends, we say it to family, we even say it to ourselves, like if we repeat it enough times, maybe one day it will become true. But it doesn't, because "I'm fine" is not always an answer. Sometimes it is a locked door. Sometimes it is a warning sign wearing a smile. And sometimes it is the loneliest lie we all tell. The strange thing about "I'm fine" is that it sounds peaceful. It sounds mature. It sounds like control, like you have everything handled. But most of the time, "I'm fine" does not mean peace. It means I don't know how to say what I feel. It means I don't want to be a burden. It means please don't ask too much because I might actually tell you. And that is the first dark truth. Most people are not hiding their pain because they want to lie. They are hiding it because honesty feels unsafe. Because what happens when you are honest? Someone might judge you. Someone might laugh it off. Someone might say others have it worse. Someone might change the topic. Or worse, they might listen for 5 seconds and then disappear. So we learn. We learn to keep it short. We learn to smile quickly. We learn to say "I'm fine" before anyone gets uncomfortable. Because sadness is acceptable only when it is convenient for other people. But here is the question. When did being honest start feeling more dangerous than being lonely? Hold that thought, because the answer is uglier than it looks. When we were kids, we cried loudly. We asked for help. We said exactly what hurt. If we were scared, we looked scared. If we were sad, we looked sad. If we needed someone, we reached out. But then life trained us, slowly, quietly, cruelly. Maybe someone told you, "Stop overreacting." Maybe they said, "Be strong." Maybe they said, "Don't be so sensitive." Maybe they ignored you when you were emotional. Maybe they only loved the easy version of you, the happy version, the useful version, the version that never needed too much. So you adapted. You became low maintenance. You became funny. You became helpful. You became the person who says, "No, I'm good," even when you are not. And over time, you stopped asking yourself what you felt. You started asking, what reaction will this create? That is how "I'm fine" is born. Not from strength, from training. And the more you say it, the more natural it feels. Until one day, someone asks what is wrong, and you genuinely don't know how to answer. Because the truth has been buried for so long, even you need a map to find it. And this is where it gets lonely. Because loneliness is not always having no people around you. Sometimes, loneliness is being surrounded by people who only know your edited version. They know your jokes, they know your routine, they know your face, they know your online personality, they know your quick replies, they know your "haha, true," they know your "all good," they know your "I'm fine." But they don't know the real thing. The quiet fear, the private guilt, the anger you swallowed, the exhaustion you keep calling laziness, the sadness you keep hiding behind productivity. And after a while, you begin to feel invisible, not because nobody sees you, but because everyone sees a version of you that you created for survival. That is the second dark truth. Sometimes the loneliest place in the world is not an empty room. It is a room full of people where you still have to pretend. But here is the deeper problem. "I'm fine" does not only hide pain from others, it also hides pain from you. And that is where the damage begins. Every emotion wants to move. Anger wants a boundary. Sadness wants comfort. Fear wants safety. Guilt wants repair. Exhaustion wants rest. But when you say "I'm fine" too often, you interrupt the signal. You tell the emotion, "Not now, not here, not in front of them, not even in front of me." So the feeling doesn't disappear. It goes underground. It becomes tension in your body. It becomes random irritation. It becomes scrolling for hours. It becomes sleeping too much or not sleeping enough. It becomes snapping at people who did nothing wrong. It becomes feeling tired even after doing nothing. And then you wonder, why am I like this? Maybe because your mind has been holding conversations your mouth refused to have. That is why I'm fine is so dangerous. It looks small. It sounds harmless. But it turns your inner world into a locked room. And every time you use it to avoid the truth, you throw away another key. But why do we still do it? Why do we protect the lie, even when it is slowly destroying us? Because sometimes, I'm fine gives us something we desperately want. Control. Pain is messy. Pain makes people ask questions. Pain changes the mood of a room. Pain makes you feel exposed. But I'm fine is clean. It ends the conversation. It protects your image. It lets you walk away. It gives you a small feeling of power. For a few seconds, you don't have to explain. You don't have to cry. You don't have to be seen. You don't have to risk someone proving that they don't care enough. And that is the cruelest part. Sometimes we don't say, I'm fine, because we want to be alone. We say it because we are afraid to find out that we already are. Because what if you tell the truth and nobody knows what to do with it? What if you finally say, I'm not okay, and the person just says, oh. That possibility is terrifying. So we choose the safer pain, the familiar pain, the pain of silence. At least silence cannot reject us. At least pretending gives us control. At least I'm fine lets us leave with dignity. But dignity is not the same as connection, and control is not the same as healing. The saddest thing is, many people are not waiting for a solution. They are waiting for permission. Permission to not be okay. Permission to be complicated. Permission to say, I don't need advice right now. I just need someone to sit with me. But modern life does not make space for that. Everyone is busy. Everyone is performing. Everyone is reachable, but somehow unavailable. We reply fast, but we don't listen deeply. We react to stories, but we miss the person behind them. We say, take care, stay strong, you got this. And sometimes those words are kind, but sometimes they are just polite ways to end a heavy conversation. So people stop opening up. They become easy to be around. They become emotionally convenient. They become the friend who never complains, the child who never asks, the partner who says, it's okay, the employee who says, no problem. And slowly, they disappear behind their own reliability. Everyone praises them for being strong. Nobody notices they are exhausted. So what do we do? Do we stop saying, I'm fine forever? No. Sometimes I'm fine is just privacy. Sometimes you really don't want to explain. Sometimes the person asking has not earned the truth, and that is okay. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world, but someone should have it. At least one person. Maybe a friend, maybe a sibling, maybe a therapist, maybe a version of yourself writing in a journal at midnight. Because pain needs somewhere to go. If it never leaves your body as words, it will leave as damage. So maybe the goal is not to tell everyone everything. Maybe the goal is to stop lying to yourself. Instead of saying, I'm fine, try saying, I don't really know what I feel yet. Or, I'm not okay, but I don't want to talk about it fully. Or, I'm having a hard day.